My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Sagittarius. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. And for this evening, I'm going to be doing your general love reading, your 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 24 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for your love, support, and devotion towards my channel, including joining me in this beautiful evening as well. So, this 5 card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second, the other person, the third, the relationship, fourth, the past, fifth, the future. Then I'm going to draw a Vampire Oracle for you, and then a Favola and 1 card from the French tarot deck of Le Tarot Interdit Vampiria. But let's get started with card number 1 for you, and my goodness, you get the Devil. Capricorn energy. You could be currently with maybe a Capricorn, all the bonfire, you're the fire, this person's the logs, okay. But maybe, it's like, well, you could actually come across as maybe having this real desire. Maybe you have people that are drawn towards you because maybe you kind of exude kind of like the forbidden fruit kind of eroticism kind of vibe and stuff like that. And maybe that's, the kind of idea, where humans, they look at you and they think, whoa, it's like Sagittarius is quite an erotic individual and stuff like that. It's like, but I just wonder why the devil would show up for you. I would never consider any Sagittarius is out in this world to be a devil, except for in the form of eroticism, forbidden fruit, or even like with, the human's favorite cake apparently is devil's food cake, but he also likes that angel food cake, whatever. I mean, I have no idea half the time of these, like foods and stuff like that. But other than that, but you could be in a singlehood position, and maybe, it's like, other people, they could also be seeing you as a bit too fiery, and maybe they will think, oh goodness, it's like if you come across too fiery and stuff like that, maybe, other people could be turned off by that in the sense where they feel like you could be a bit too dominant or a bit too forceful, or maybe, what have you in other ways. But I'm not really getting that all too much or in any way, at least. But I just really wonder why the devil would show up. Because the other person, Ace of Wands, I mean, it could be a fellow fire sign, maybe an Aries, a Leo, or maybe another Sagittarius. But I feel like that, this person could also be putting time and energy into wanting to approach you, because maybe, well, you actually do have a lot of suitors and all kinds of humans that are so drawn towards you. and this person is going to be putting a lot of time and energy into approaching you as well. But you could also have, so much, like attention drawn towards you. Maybe you do have this sense of eroticism, and you're also going to be putting a lot of time and energy into this relationship, love reading, singlehood, and other ways as well. I'm not per se getting that, but I'm just only kind of throwing it out there in case it were to resonate in other ways. But I just feel like, if you kind of come across as like this devil individual, that humans are just so drawn towards you and stuff like that, this person is definitely going to be putting time and energy into approaching you. Because relationship, justice, ooh, Libra, it could be maybe with a Libra, but I feel like, that this relationship, if you're currently in one, is very stable and balanced. But it could also be, how you're kind of keeping yourself as well, stable and balanced as possible, because I feel, it's like if you still haven't found Mr. and Mrs. Right yet in your life, or maybe, it's like, well, you just come across as, a lot of humans, they just only, will want to just use you for eroticism and stuff like that. Maybe, you're okay with that, and you just think, okay, as long as I can, we'll keep in this balanced mindset, there's time and energy being put into something. But on a different note, it could also be that you could also be, making a deal with the devil yourself. Maybe this is kind of like a divorce or a breakup that's going to be taking place as well, because the devil is something that needs to be content with, and the justice is kind of like a legal card as well. So maybe you're kind of in the process of also having to divorce or break up from your current spouse, ex, whoever you're currently still with, or trying to break free from as well. Because in the past, you get the Tower, Aries energy. Okay. So I see that obviously there's this big change that took place in the past, and maybe that's what could have put you in a devilish situation, and maybe that's why you're trying to put time and energy into breaking free and away from it, because the Tower is kind of like a silver linings kind of card. Why? Because, it's like it could be something that you could try to patch up with just maybe a few items and stuff like that. But maybe you're also trying to watch this Tower break down so then you can actually free yourself as well. But maybe, it's like you were courting somebody in the past, maybe a fellow fire sign or maybe any other element for that matter. And something just, there was this unexpected change that took place and stuff like that. So then, your foundation started to break in the past, and it kind of, resulted in this devil situation showing up. Because in the future, you get the Lord of Knives, King of Swords. So I see you actually with this real strategic goal or plan coming up real soon. So I feel like that this big change probably had to happen, or maybe it did happen for some unknown miraculous reason and stuff like that. But the Lord of Knives is there to actually, say, we have to watch, or we had to watch this break down because, so we could actually start creating a plan. But maybe you did actually have to watch this, break down, and so then it could put you in this like, divorce position, and you're putting time and energy into it, and here you are proceeding with this plan in the future as well. Or you could also have Capricorn, Libra, Aries, or other fire placements or air placements in your star chart as well. Because Oracle wants to say rebellion, upstart, tumult, and revolution. So I'm just kind of wondering, if it's a bit of a tumultuous kind of situation that's taking place in today's love reading. Because, if there was a bit of an upstart, that could have been, the tower, the tumultuous situation could have been the tower. And the revolution could be that you're actually creating this really excellent sense of plan and you're keeping yourself as balanced and stable as possible. But there could also be, that you just kind of broke free from any kind of like, a relationship, and you realize that it was not meant to be. So then you pretty much just, broke free from the devil, whoever, you were pretty much promised to in other ways. Because I'll tell you, one thing is like how my father mostly, had all of my siblings, including my relationships, already pre-made, so, and that's why I don't believe in these technology dating apps things, because the thing is that's considered like a blind date, and you don't know who the other person is, and maybe you might not ever meet them or what have you in other ways. But that's why I feel like that there's definitely, this big change taking place, whether it's in the form of releasing yourself from the devil, breakup, divorce, or something that's going to be transpiring eventually. Because Favole wants to continue with Three of Crosses, also known as Three of Pentacles. So you'll have support, you'll have other people around you, and I feel like that, it's like, well, maybe during this tumultuous time, maybe you've had your heart broken, maybe you've just been broken up, maybe you're taking a break, but I do see, your friends, your family, whoever you value or trust the most, that are going to be there for you in the future. There's definitely going to be some kind of collaboration, but maybe, you and your current spouse or companion or lover are actually, trying to it will create a new beginning, between you two that will mostly resulted, in this, tower moment having to happen. So then, you guys could actually start over from the first level or from the ground in other ways as well. Because French Tarot deck wants to finish off with Le Soleil. Ooh, the sun will finally shine for you. Or you could end up with maybe a Leo in the future. But either way, it's like, the sun will eventually shine for you. You might have strength and confidence of a Leo, or you might eventually be with a Leo. And maybe you're trying to actually break up and divorce from your current spouse so you could actually move on to a Leo, or what have you in other ways. But there's definitely this big change on the rise. But the sun will eventually shine in your favor. Maybe you personally have Leo placements as well. Well, Leo and Sagittarius can make excellent good partnerships and stuff like that. And maybe that's what this person is also doing, is maybe this is the Leo that's going to be putting time and energy, into heading off towards you, because maybe you just come across as like this very erotic individual. And, there's going to be a tower moment taking place, and this plan is going to start commencing, and there's going to be justice. Maybe you have to divorce from your current spouse. I mean, I'm just only throwing out some general thoughts here, but that's kind of what I'm kind of getting from today's love rating for Sagittarius is out in this world, or Sagittarius placements. Okay. My beautiful Sagittarius, I'm going to have to leave it at this for now, but if this reading resonated for Sagittarius placements, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I love you guys incredibly. Next week, I'm going back to general readings. And if anybody out there is interested in a personal reading, all you have to let me know in the comments section below that you want a personal reading, and I'll respond to you with my email. But other than that, I want to thank you all so much. But before I forget, if I haven't mentioned this yet, is that the human had purchased this red velvet necklace for me, and so what he was just thinking is that for my love readings that I would wear this red velvet, or rose, necklace for my love readings. But other than that, I want to thank you so much again. I love you guys incredibly, and as per usual, take excellent good care of yourselves.